up, my fellow HHN obsessies, and welcome to the HHN Obsession podcast, where we talk about all things HHN and obsess together over this amazing event. I am your host, JJ. With me, as always, I have the co-ghost, James.
James! I'm going to try and do that every time.
It is officially house announcement day. First IP house announcement day. House number 7 this year. So if you've been following along, the house that was announced today is something that has been heavily talked about all speculation season. And to me, it's still kind of a big surprise that it's coming. But at the same time, it's exciting. So this morning, everybody was waiting for the 10:33 posting time that they've been doing. But since this was going to be a dual announcement, it was obviously going to be at 12:33 Florida time because California still needed to wake up.
Don't tell me they messed up and did it on the 34. They messed up?
Worse, buddy. Worse.
35.
Let me tell you. So I bet you they were going to announce it at 12:33. But you see, Deadline decided to release their article early.
Deadline. What'd you do, Deadline?
It was, I think, a little after 12 o'clock is when it dropped. Or maybe it might have been right at 12. So not long after that, I think it was like random. Like 12:18, I think the time was. Horror Nights dropped it. They broke the streak of their 33 announcements, and it's very upsetting. I don't like it. But I think they did it because they said, well, this is already circulating on all the social medias. People are already going crazy from this Deadline article. So they probably just said, all right, drop it now.
18. There's time. You can wait to 33.
I think they were too eager because Deadline was getting all the attention. All right, so with the house announcement, we finally got one of those house announcement videos. We hadn't got those for the originals, and they made one for this, for the first IP announced. And we're going to go ahead and play it. Not a whole lot going on, but I felt that, we could still listen in. So without further ado.
All right, with the ado, no more ado, here we go.
Warning, unusual audio-visual activity in your area.
If they hear you, they hunt you. A quiet place. Only at Universal Halloween Horror Nights, where horror lives.
I had the little eyeball.
All right, everybody, there it is. A Quiet Place is coming to Halloween Horror Nights 33. It's kind of unreal to me in a way, because whenever this was speculated back in the early months of speculation season, it just seemed like that would be a fake out rumor, It didn't seem real. And I feel like this was rumored last year or the year before as well. So it was just always a constant rumor. And this has also been talked about since 2018. Everybody has said, oh, this could be a haunted house. And then there's always the argument of how is it going to be a haunted house? There's no way. In 2018, I believe, Michael Aiello, the former senior director of HHN in Orlando, and John Murdy, the creative director in Hollywood, did a panel together, and somebody asked them if they would ever do a Quiet Place house. They straight up joked about it. And their words, they said that movie is not made to be a house. That's what they said.
Hmm.
So it was always like, there's no way this could be done.
Well,
Apparently they found a way.
so that dismissal of A Quiet Place, do you think that was misdirect, or people came up to them after and they're like, "Hey, here's how it could work"?
Well, I just think after years of planning stuff out, and at the time, part 2 hadn't come out yet. So I think they needed time to think about what they could do. And let me tell you, they are going to experiment this year with this house. They're doing something new, and Legacy and Pinhead have been teasing this, that this could be a house that surprises the heck out of us because of new things that they're doing. Now, this is a great time to transition over to the press release for this house. Guests will need to silence their screams when they enter the post-apocalyptic world of Paramount Pictures blockbuster movies A Quiet Place and A Quiet Place Part 2 in an all-new chilling haunted house at Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights.
I was going to say that.
The terror of the excruciating silence is set to begin Friday, August 30th at Universal Orlando Resort and Thursday, September 5th at Universal Studios Hollywood. Directed by John Krasinski and critically acclaimed for its suspenseful yet mostly silent storytelling, A Quiet Place and A Quiet Place Part 2 follow the Abbott family as they try to survive the aftermath of sightless creatures with a sharp sense of hearing that draws them to prey on anything that makes the slightest noise.
Mirroring the silence of the films, the haunted houses will embrace unique sound design, special effects, and the adept performances of the scare actors to convey the ominous sense of dread depicted in the films. Consequential to the storyline, Halloween Horror Nights will incorporate the use of American Sign Language for the first time ever within the A Quiet Place haunted houses to capture the authenticity of the films. Fans will relive the tension that will come to life in the iconic scenes from the first 2 films, including traveling through the farmhouse that serves as the Abbott family's shelter and stepping into the root cellar where Evelyn Abbott escapes to give birth as one of the creatures closes in. The snarls of the larger-than-life predators will follow guests at every spine-chilling turn, and guests must remember, if they hear you, they will hunt you.
Boom.
Okay, yeah. I was going to say, it'd be cool if it was interactive where you have to... Okay, this sounds like I'm stealing it now, but I should have just said this. If they're trying to be quiet and the triggers are like based on the people going through instead of the scare actors, right? That's pretty cool. You got to try and be quiet.
I guarantee you the sound design in these haunted houses is already top notch, but they have to take this to a whole nother level when you think about this, because when you watch those movies, I watched the first one last night to like recap and just refresh my memory of what happened in the first one, and now I have to watch part 2 again because this just announced that it's both movies. But watching it, the sound design in that movie, it is just quiet all the time. There is a little bit of score, but to me, I cannot picture how they're going to do this. I know they have a plan. They have something in mind that they're going to do, but how are they going to grab that effect of it being so quiet in a house? Because although the haunted house is different rooms, you're still going to be able to hear people screaming from the other side of the house and stuff like that. So that's gonna hurt the quietness, even if they wanted to make it quiet. I mean, there's the soundproofing, but that's still not going to work completely for every part of the house, right?
I'm sure it won't be silent. It's going to be like murky drips and, quiet ambiance, but not silence.
And it's so damn cool that the scare actors that they're going to be hiring are going to need to learn or know American Sign Language for this house.
Yeah.
That they're just going to be signing to guests throughout the night, and that's really cool. That's the first for the event. I don't know what you're picturing. Maybe you can elaborate on what you think, but like, to me, I can't picture what it's going to exactly be like, because they still have to grab that effect of it being quiet. I mean, it says in the description, mirroring the silence in the films. The haunted houses embrace unique sound design, special effects, and adept performances of the scare actors to convey the ominous sense of dread depicted in the films.
Yeah, my curiosity is in how immersive, or where's the line going to be? Because we're obviously, passer through, and then the people in it are in it. They're in the story, in the movie and stuff. But if it's dependent on us going through triggering or not triggering certain scares, or maybe they follow. Here's another idea: Dueling Dragons. They have the split paths. What if they have split paths in there, and the louder group gets the monster chasing after them?
Oh, dude, that'd be crazy. Oh, and then the paths would change every night, is what you're saying, like, or change all the time to where you don't know which path is like the one.
Well, no,
that
because it would
is
depend
louder.
on. It's directly on how loud you are. It's silent library rules out here.
Oh, you're saying the guess. I thought like one path will have like the scare actors being loud, and that's the one that you'll be chased down.
If that's how they want to do it, if they want to just give you the illusion that, hey, you be quiet,
Dude,
and then that will determine the outcome.
the split will be the corn, the field.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
Hey, to be clear, I'm picturing the split somewhere in the middle, or maybe even near the front. Maybe not direct end, because that is how it worked in the past. But how are they going to gauge your volume levels? How are they going to judge?
That would be the perfect place to do the corn, would be in the middle, because if it's doing
Yeah.
part 1 and part 2,
Mm-hmm. No, that's cool. Corn is rustly too.
And what did you say about the sounds just now?
Just like, how are they going to determine your volume level? Because it sounds like, you're going to be punished for not hushing up in there.
See, that's the thing. I don't think it's going to get that detailed. Like they're going to...
Well, I didn't think so either till they're talking about, like, they're trying to replicate the scenario for you. And then
I don't think that there will be a way to do that. I don't think there'll be a way to incorporate the actual guest making sounds and the guest screaming. Like if you scream, you're getting the trigger, you're getting the monster. Which, by the way, how are they doing the monsters as well? Just giant puppets. I don't want to see a scare actor in like a morph suit with this. I want it to look like those monsters.
Well, they'd have to be super quick, which gives you the benefit of, less detail. So maybe they could have some kind of, like, not a puppet. I don't know. I'm thinking not puppet, but something big that can zoom at the actor. That, if we're going back to square one with the actors, and it's the guy that's like, hey, I'm going to yell. And then we got several of those yellers, the yeller suicides, and they're planted in different spots, and you can see them in the up ahead coming. And then it's back in the scare actor's hands. But if there was going to be a big thing to attack them real quick with little detail, you could have a wall or some kind of thing to just yank along a track or something. I don't know.
No, I agree. Away. No, it could definitely be puppets. They've done puppets before that kind of like lunge at you in the middle of the path. So that's possible. It'll be a puppet. So again, I was watching the movie last night, and I was trying to pay attention to how and where the house would be taking place, right? And at the time, I was only thinking it was going to be the first movie because that was the rumor. But now it's official. It's going to be both movies, which I think will add a lot of places because part 2 had a lot of stuff. But the first part of the movie, I don't think will be in the house at all because it's during the daytime, unless they were to put it at night. Like they won't just follow the movie. They'll just put it at night. Like the whole bridge scene with the kid and the toy. Like, I don't think that's going to be part of it. When they go to the supermarket at the beginning, I don't think the supermarket is going to be part of the house because, again, it's during the day. So I don't think any of that's going to work. I'm thinking it's all going to take place at the farm as far as the first movie. And we will definitely see the cornfield because it has been confirmed that the corn is going to be there. And I'm excited about that because it's in a soundstage, right? Which is great because how big is this field going to be? Is this just going to be the facade of the house? Or are we actually going to enter the corn in the middle of the house? And how grand is it going to be? I want to be able to see corn for a little ways. I know they can't do much. Or do like some kind of mirror effect where they have mirrors that makes it look like it goes really far into the distance, which they have done before in a house. They made it look
That's
like
cool.
a hallway looks much further away, right?
Yeah, do that infinity mirror trick. But with
Yeah,
corn.
so if they can pull that off, I will be so happy. But I picture the cornfield with all the red lights, the string lights hanging above, or it'll be like the regular lights, and then in the scene you will see the lights switch to the red as you're walking.
Corn. You know, I love corn so much. I wish I could swim in the corn. Speaking of swimming in corn, I wonder if
Yeah.
they'll have that silo scene. You know, the corn
That's
silo.
that's another thing I was gonna get at, was that there's a whole scene where they literally almost die and suffocate from corn.
They could replicate that trick pretty good, you know, with it's been in other movies and it's behind the scenes, but they have like a thin tarp with corn on it with a little hole that you pretend that it's like so deep.
Yeah.
You could totally do that practically in this thing. That could be cool.
Do you think this is another reason why Horror Nights wanted to get those properties, just for the corn, just so they can have an excuse to bring the corn? They just wanted to just storm.
That's one of their checklists every year. It's on their bingo card. They're like, okay, corn, what are we going to do with corn this time?
What can we bring to the event that's going to have corn in it?
Every year. It's their secret task.
I do hope that somehow they will try to replicate the silo. I don't know how we would walk through that. If anything, we would walk past it.
Yeah.
We would see the gaping hole where the monster comes out. I can maybe see that.
I know what happens. As you're walking through, it starts to get kernely up on the floor. It's like, hey, I'm stepping on bumps. And you look down, it gets more and more corny. And then you're in the scene. You can walk past it and buy it, but you're stepping on the corn. So it makes it look like you're in the scene, you know? You're stepping on the corn that's killing the kids. And speaking of killing kids, John Krasinski, not that he kills kids, but look at this and look at If, and you can see the trend. Like he based all his decisions on that he's a father, you know? He has his girls, and this sparks fear from being a parent. And then If he's making that for his kids, I mean, he hacked into some primal stuff here. So I'm glad we're going back to the number one also, because we got Jim from The Office, probably the best one between. Okay, that's hard to say, but I really liked the first one, and I was sad to see him not in the others. So
He was in the second one. He was in the second one. It was just a flashback.
Yeah, but he was already dead though.
Yeah. So of course we got the cornfield, which I really hope they do that well. Again, do the infinity mirror trick. But next would be inside the farmhouse and in the barn. There's the whole basement scene, or the basement setup, with the whole security cameras, all the TVs. I guarantee you, I'm very certain we're going to see that in the house. We'll see the screens, and we'll see the monsters like running past the screens coming toward our direction or whatever. That's happening. And in the movie, that basement floods. They have done lakes and ponds in houses before. So I'm wondering if we will see the basement flooded in this house.
Mm-hmm.
The next thing would be the whole birthing scene where Emily Blunt is having her baby in the tub.
Yeah,
and
that's
the
gonna
monsters.
be a showcase.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably going to be there. I mean, there's not going to be anything graphic, of course, but we're probably going to at least hear some baby crying, and maybe even see. We might actually just see a tub with blood in it. I don't even know if there'll be an actor in there, but besides the cornfield and the basement and the bathroom scenes, I don't know what else they would use for the first one. And that's what I was having a hard time figuring out. So it does make sense how they decided to go with part 2. Because a lot of that movie takes place in the cornfield, which I doubt they're going to use that very much in the house. With
They're
part 2,
definitely going to have that little toy, the little rocket toy.
Somewhere, yeah. But like I said, I don't think that bridge scene where the kid dies is going to be in the house. I don't know how they would do that. I can't remember locations for part 2 very much, but I know there was a lot, and it was all over the place. I know they were in like some kind of big abandoned like factory in part 2. Is that correct? And then I know they end up at an island with a bunch of people that thought that they were safe there, and then they end up bringing it over. So I wish I had time to rewatch that before we knew about this announcement about part 2 being in it, but we'll see what they do. I don't know. What do you think? Any other thoughts about that? About what we're going to be seeing in the house?
Did you talk about the mirrors at the angle that makes it look like there's a further distance, not infinity mirror, but
Like a character.
yeah, like there used to be this gag where I think it's Michael Myers. He's like standing right behind the wall, and the mirror looks like he's like walking from further, but then he's right next to you. You know, he just turns the
Yeah.
He's like, "Hey, what's up?" He turns around, he's right there.
Yeah, they've been doing that every year in a house, and I think last year there was more than one house that did that trick. So
Was there?
yeah, I know one was Blood Moon. I think wasn't it Blood Moon?
Well,
And then Universal Monsters did it.
well, if we're walking through buildings and stuff, there will be. I mean, that's an easy alleyway. You could put an alleyway here and there and around. You know, it looks like way deeper than it is, and then yeah, I could see that happening.
You're talking about part 2,
No, I'm just in general. One of these,
alleyway between like the house and the barn.
yeah, just wherever you got two things next to it, in between, you can have like a crevice, like pretty deep. You know, creatures.
I don't know. It's really hard to gauge this house and where it's going to fall on my hype list. I won't spoil that just yet. We'll wait for the hype episode, but it's very hard to tell where this is going to fall and where it's going to end up at the end of the event, because this could be a huge surprise to everybody. This could blow people away if they pull this off correctly. It could be an all-timer, but I think it can also flop. Like, they could just be amping this up like they did, for example, the Bugs house at 31. I know you didn't see that, James, but they were just hyping that house so much that they were trying this new thing where they were going to play with your senses and play with the fears of bugs and fear of holes. And I think I remember one of the creators of the house straight up said, "This is the scariest house you'll ever go into." I'm sure that's not the exact quote, but something along the lines of that, paraphrasing there.
Yeah,
But
I vaguely remember the hype lists or whatever we were doing, and I seen a video, and there's at least one or two bugs that would have got me in there. The giant grasshopper head, like that freaks me out. I used to see the giant, like huge grasshoppers when I was little, so that would have got me to my core. So
and don't get me wrong, there was a part of that house where there was just a dark hallway, you couldn't see anything, and things were starting to touch you, and it felt like bugs were like flying around you or like touching you, brushing up against you. That part, it was cool, and it freaked me out at the first run or two. But as an overall house, in my honest opinion, it did not hit correctly. It did not live up to the hype. I think I had it at like number 6 that year or something. It was middle of the pack.
Cricket.
Everybody's a cricket. I'm just a chirping cricket. So all I'm saying is, if they build up this hype with Quiet Place and it doesn't deliver, it could be a big fail. I hope that that's not the case. I hope this is not a Bugs Eating Alive situation. I really hope that this is something top-notch, something they've never done before, and it's going to blow people away. Just think about it. Everybody's been saying since 2018, this is not possible to be a haunted house. The creator straight up said that this movie was not designed to be a house.
Hey, here's something I'm thinking.
And they're giving it a go.
Something else, John Krasinski thinks of his girls whenever he works on stuff. So imagine they're a little older than they were at the time. So what if he plans to take them through the house? What if he doesn't want it too terrifying? What if he's going to water it down for his kids to be able to handle it? Or is that's not even a concern?
All I'm saying is I am rooting for this house. I hope it delivers. I hope we're going to be cheering at the end of it. Hell, I hope we're going to be cheering during it. I really look forward to walking through this thing and seeing it for the first time. It's going to be really wild because, like I said, in my mind at the beginning of this spec season, there was no way this was going to be a house. I thought this was going to be a false rumor, and the fact that it was the first IP announced that we're actually going to be walking through a Quiet Place house blows my mind. So I am pretty happy and excited for it. Although I'm skeptical to a certain degree, I'm also rooting for it. That's my thoughts.
Yeah, I'm not against it. I don't know. I am curious what they're gonna do with it. Hype, you're not giving anything up, but I don't know if it's something I would have requested. I think there's other things that would have been more.
You said that about Insidious.
That's true. I guess
The-
maybe that's not
when
fair.
when you compare this to other years, it is a weaker year for IPs when you look at what's coming. But I think it's fine. I think this is going to be an okay year, with this possibly being an amazing surprise. And then we're getting Ghostbusters, and then Insidious, and then whatever Universal Monsters house we're getting. I think there's some great stuff coming.
I'll tell you why I like to stay in the dark. You know, if this was all hitting me at once, then I like the overwhelm. I don't like this little pacing juice drip drop. You know, like, call me, I don't know, hate me if you want, but I don't know. I like to have a buffet. You know?
Well, you are probably the only one
I might be.
in this fan base. So you like the way they did it last year, basically, because they pretty much dropped everything at once last year. Like, they announced 2 houses like in June, and then in mid-July they just, all right, here's everything else. But just think about it, man. We've been covering it all season long. We've been discussing what could possibly be coming from the start, and look, here we are now, and it's actually here.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, Pinhead did say one little thing about this today, and I just want to read that because we should have a segment in the show, insider quotes or insider knowledge or something, and we read off what they've said about whatever we're talking about that day.
Insider, like, in the community type of goss.
But anyway, once this was announced, this is what he said. He said, "Prepare for a lot of ambient sounds and suspense. It's not going to be a house with loud music blaring to amplify the energy. It will go the opposite way and create intense suspense with little sound outside that of like crickets, wind, etc., and the monsters. I can't wait."
That's risky. That's a bold choice, you know. You're playing it down. I hope it don't backfire. That's all I'm saying.
Is he playing it down though? Because I mean, we talked about it. Like, there's no way that they're gonna have like loud music playing. Yeah, there might be some kind of ambient stuff going on, but
Just
they're not gonna.
just next to the other houses, you know, because this is pretty different.
Mm-hmm. I might get yelled at if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is going in the same place as Dueling Dragons as last year. So I just clicked that you said the whole
The
dual
split thing,
split. Right? This is actually the same soundstage as Dueling Dragons. I'm pretty sure.
Huh. Well, I'm claiming that split. I'm gonna claim it.
Man, if you get that right, you'll get brownie points, man. You'll get brownie points.
Ooh, brownie. What kind of food do you think they'll have? What's well, I mean, corn, maybe.
They're gonna have all the corn, popcorns, cream corns. They're gonna have the boom, doctor boom, doctor boom, doctor boom. They're gonna have the band corn. Was that stupid? That was stupid.
It's fine, you know. It's what's a quiet food?
Wait, did they eat anything in the movie?
Oh man, right? Your diet would change if you got, you know, giant monsters trying to hear every crunch. I think your diet's gonna change a little bit.
I mean, for sure, there's gonna be a Ghostbusters food booth. I guarantee you that.
Oh, there you go, marshmallows.
They don't do food for every IP that they have, but I think they at least do 2 IPs with food. So I would think this would be the other one. I just don't know what it would be. I mean, like I said, I guarantee you there's going to be corn in some of the food items. Just what, though? I'm trying to think of an alcoholic drink. Some kind of punch for blood. Alcoholic punch with corn in it.
Quiet Curacao.
The quiet Curacao?
Yeah.
Nah.
What do we got? Bailey's. Be quiet Bailey's. What's a booze?
Bring back the split cup.
Yes, but in a circle cup. A split in a circle cup. I like
one
that.
side red.
Ooh,
I don't know.
The other one yellow for earwax.
Why ear? Oh, for the sound. Oh no.
I don't know about
for
that.
the ears.
Yeah, I'm thinking the giant ear clopses, they're just a big ear for a head. They gotta spit some nasty wax venom, right? Probably
Oh
some
no.
like
Okay.
predator versus alien acidic earwax. Make the drink, you people. Don't be scared. You think people won't drink earwax? They will.
So moving away for this real quick as we wind down the episode here, I want to mention in the teaser video we got a better look at Otis.
Yeah, I thought he was a secret. Now he's just full on. He's just out there.
I mean, we still don't know. We still don't know what he is. If this is just part of the realm that the icon's going to be in, or if he's the actual creature that we're going to be seeing. Because remember that the insiders are teasing that the icon is more of just like, he's just more of a presence than anything. It might not be a physical thing. Because we got that whole cocoon tease, and that was actually in the video too. There was like a slight, like real quick video or real quick shot of the cocoon again. But in the video, we get this more detailed, like 4K rendering of what this thing looks like. Last time it was just a reflection in the streets of the park.
Mm-hmm.
Now we got full-fledged demon arches with the eyeball.
Hey, and it could very well just be a physical presence. He's just hanging out. He's just there, Otis.
Hey, the Twitter account named it Otis, so if it has a name, it's got to be something, right? Something I want to bring up though. HHN used to do a lot more decorating of those arches back in the day. The fan favorite one was at HHN 17. They went all out that year on those arches and made it look like a carnival. It was wild. So they haven't really done that in recent years. All they've done is put the medallion in the middle with Halloween Horror Nights and then put like posters of all the houses. That's all they've done in recent years. What's going to be awesome is that they actually do decorate it somehow with the Otis stuff. Or even if they just did projection mapping of Otis on the arches.
Oh, yeah. That'd be cool. Dude.
If they don't do that, man, they can't miss out on opportunities like that. They can't have missed opportunities every single time. They have to do that. Hey,
now at this point they won't with him because they saw that everyone gravitated to the little reflection, the little secret, and then here they put it on full 4K. Nah, they're gonna capitalize on it.
I hope so. And I kind of called the circus tent projection mapping last year on the Oddfellow tent.
Mm-hmm.
This time, I believe there's other people also suggesting or kind of speculating that they'll do projection mapping on the arches. So I'm not the only one. I'm just hoping that they do it for this.
Hey, and give him a microphone so he can talk to all the people coming in, and a laser in the eyeball to zap, people at his discretion.
Dude, I just picture him sounding like...
Man, I just want him to have a nasty laser eye, like the Guardians in Zelda.
Yeah, I could see that. But man, like I said in the last episode, I really want to know more about this icon or what this theme is. Like, what is going on?
Hey,
with
icon.
Icon. Ah, yeah. Shut up. I just really want to know what the heck is going on with this dude. What is he going to be at the event? How much is he going to be in the event? How much of him are we going to see? There's got to be more to it. There's got to be more than just these promotional teasers. All right. So, any final thoughts on A Quiet Place Haunted House?
If we don't got a scare actor looking directly at the camera or at us, and there's not a camera, but I want the Jim look in this house.
You mean the TV screens, like the security cams?
Oh yeah, maybe. I just want Jim looking at the camera. I want an office joke.
That would be funny if they threw that in there. Sometimes these IPs, the actors don't sign off on their likeliness or whatever it's called, their likeness.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't get the characters in the house, but I don't see why he wouldn't. But either way, it's exciting times. This is house number 7. We got 3 more to go, and we still gotta hear what the scare zones are, what all this icon stuff is, the show is. To me, it's a little surprising that we got A Quiet Place first instead of Ghostbusters. But if you think about it, it makes a little bit of sense because Quiet Place Day 1 is about to come out in like a week or two. And then A Quiet Place is more horror than Ghostbusters. So I would think that they would want to release the horror IP first. And Insidious is not as big as Quiet Place, so they wouldn't do that. Although that one will probably be more scarier.
Yeah, I want to give Emily Blunt her flowers, because she is the movie. I keep talking about John Krasinski, obviously, because he's the director, and I feel like he's been absent from them. He's been dead since the first movie. So that's why I keep talking about him. But Emily Blunt, she needs her props.
Absolutely, she is a very strong character, and the whole message of the movie is very strong, and she has a lot to do with that. So, and just one last thing I want to point out is that this is one of the highest grossing horror movies of the past decade. So it makes sense that they want to bring it to the event. I think it made almost like $400 million.
Wow.
Worldwide. The first movie, just the first movie, it killed it at the box office, and I could see why they've been trying to figure out a way to bring it, and they've done it. It's coming. It's here. We're going to be walking through A Quiet Place. Oh, we didn't talk about the merch drop.
Oh, okay.
There was some merch dropped, guys. Good night.
The end.
There was just a shirt with the promotional material image on the front, and there is also a heat reactive mug of Quiet Place.
And tell me, it's Emily Blunt.
That's what it does.
So I was hoping it was a picture of Emily Blunt putting her stomach against the glass.
Well, that's technically supposed to be Emily Blunt right there on the right, and that is the promotional material that's also on the shirt. But that is for sure not Emily Blunt. But I think it's supposed to be.
No, right there. You think that's trying to be her?
I don't know. Maybe.
And
then there's just that on the back of the shirt. The back of the shirt says rule number 1, don't make a sound. And that is the message that we're going to leave you listeners as we fade out. And don't make a sound, James. Shh. Be quiet. James, shut up. Shut up.
Needs to be crunching on stuff over here.
No. Shh.
There we go.
I said no, James. No.
That's what the guy should have done instead of just yelling, have a last meal.
You're damn right. Just wait a while, giving you the hip at your face now. Wait a while, giving you the hip at your face now. Wait a while, giving you the hip at your face now. Wait a while, giving you the hip at your face now. Wait a while.
Hey everyone, just wanted to give a quick shout out to my good friend Zach Weber, who provided our intro and outro song, Heebie Jeebies. You can listen to the full version of Heebie Jeebies on iTunes, Spotify, Pandora, or anywhere where you listen to your favorite music. Thanks for listening.